Good morning, honorable guests, respected faculty members, and fellow students. Welcome to Indiana University of Bangladesh. I'll be honest with you, it is an immense pleasure to see you all here today, so thank you for gracing us with your presence. But one might be wondering, why exactly are we all here today anyway?
Well, today is the 5th of June, and every year, 5th of June is celebrated as the World Environment Day. On this day, we try to raise awareness in taking positive environmental action to protect nature and the planet Earth as a whole. This year, the theme for World Environment Day is Go Wild for Life.
To commemorate this special occasion, the Environment Club of IUB, as part of the School of Environmental Science and Management, has organized a seminar followed by an environmental photographic exhibition and an eco-friendly product fair. I'm Arnold Siddiqui,
And I'm Sarah Alam.
and not only are we proud students of the School of Environmental Science and Management here at IIU,
We will be your hosts for this event.
I would like to begin by requesting our Honorable Vice Chancellor M. Omar Rahman to come up on stage.
Along with our guest of honor, Her Excellency Miss Marcia Sittons Bloom Barnett,
Also, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Rashid Chaudhry,
Chairman of CCDT, Mr. A. Motin Chaudhary,
Dean of the School of Environmental Science and Management, Dr. Mohammad Abdul Khalid,
and the head of the Department of Environmental Management, Professor Harun Rashid. Now we would like to request Mahmouda to welcome our guest of honor with a bouquet. And now I would request for a group photo moment. Thank you.
without further ado, we're going to commence today's program by inviting the President of the Environment Club and fellow student of the SESM, Mr. Sabir Shahrizari, to give us all a brief introduction of the Environment Club and its activities.
A big hand for Sabir.
Thank you, Sarah and Arnold. Today's guest of honor, Her Excellency Ms. Marcia Bloom Bernita, Ambassador of the United States of America to Bangladesh, respected Chairman of the Board of Trustees of IUB, Mr. Rashid Chaudhry, respected Chairman, um, Mr. Hematin Chaudhry, Honorable Vice Chancellor of IUB and Chair of today's program, Professor M. Umar Rahman, Dean of School of Environment Science and Management, Dr. Abdul Khaled, Professor Harun Rashid, the Department Head of Environment Management, respected Pro Vice Chancellor, Deans, Heads, faculty members of different schools of IUB, alumni, and my fellow mates, a heartiest welcome and a very good morning to you all. On this very special occasion of observing World Environment Day, I first of all would like to recall on Almighty's mercy and grace that has been bestowed upon each one of us present here. That even after recent natural disaster all over the globe and specifically in our country, we could make it possible to share our concerns and views on the environmental issues while the earth is crying out loud for our help. We must do our parts from our stance and help to save Mother Nature. Now, I would like to talk about the Environment Club of IUB. Our club was formed in the year 2000, September 3rd, under the supervision of Professor Harun Rashid, guided by the motto Go Green, Think, Act, and Be Brave. At present, we have around 300 members. The main focus of this club is awareness building. Since this 15 years journey, the club carried out many activities such as visiting slums, areas affected by calamities for counseling and awareness building. Programs on hygiene, planting saplings, being conscious and selective in using paper, especially printing, recycling things, using newspaper in making paper bags, organizing seminars, debate competition, competition on environmental issues. The most important event of the club is to organize the World Environment Day every year with a message of cleaning the world from man-made disaster and cognizant by making them aware. Distinguished guests sitting in the podium, and ladies and gentlemen, we, the members of the Environment Club, are not yet experts or experienced environmentalists, nor magicians who can bring a drastic change in our environment. But honestly speaking, we are concerned about things going around the world which is resulting in environmental degradation, and we are up going wild for life and save Mother Nature. Thus, with all our potentialities, we would obviously step forward to bring some change and hence make the world a better place to live in. Thank you all. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Mr. Sagar Rosario, for this wonderful and informative speech. Now we would like to welcome the Dean of SESM, Dr. Mohammad Abdul Khalid, to stage.
Today's guest of honor, Her Excellency, Marsha Stephens Blumberger, the United States Ambassador to Bangladesh, respected Chairman, Board of Trustees, IUB, Mr. Rashid Choudhury, Chair of the program, Professor Nur Rahman, Vice Chancellor, IUB, members of the Board of Trustees, colleagues, students, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning and Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of my school, the School of Environmental Science and Management, I welcome all of you to the World Environment Day Celebration 2016. This year's theme set by United Nations Environment Program is Go Wild for Life, which is quite relevant and timely. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present information related with some of the present environmental issues over the globe. According to a report of the US National Intelligence Fire Center, only in the United States, in 2015, there were 68,151 wildfires, which burned more than 10 million acres of land, whereas in 2014, 63,000 fires burned 3 million acres of land. In the first 4 months of 2016, wildfires burned 1.5 million acres compared with 0.3 million in 2015 in the same country, United States. On May 1st, 2016, a wildfire broke out in Alberta, destroying 1,600 buildings and more under threat. Consequently, the entire population of about 90,000 were evacuated. These are the few out of thousands of environmental incidents in the developed countries. If we look at the poor or developing nations, the situation is more disastrous. The biggest mangrove forest in the world, our Sundarbans, protects us from frequent cyclonic storms that are formed in the Bay of Bengal. The forest and its biodiversity have been significantly damaged in the last few years, which is reflected in the number of the Royal Bengal tigers, our national pride. Although the world's tiger population is found more or less constant, but in our part, in Sundarban, it has been decreasing in an alarming rate. The devastating cyclone Aida that hit Bangladesh on 29 May 2009 resulted in at least 400 deaths. Approximately 10 million people were affected by the cyclone, of which 2 million were rendered homeless. Total financial damage amounted to about 300 million US dollars. We faced another extremely severe cyclonic storm Cedar in 2007 that resulted in 10,000 deaths and 1.7 billion US dollar economic loss. Very recently, we experienced a relatively small-scale cyclone, Ruanu, where the deaths and damages are not negligible. According to a recently released United Nations report, the global economic losses from natural disasters have reached an average of 250 to 300 billion US dollars annually. As of May 8, 2016, the World Health Organization reported a total of 28,657 suspected cases and 11,325 deaths due to a recent Ebola virus attack. Now the question is, why these environmental issues are happening? Although there are a few natural reasons for those environmental problems, most of linked with our activities, our luxuries. Due to unusual development competition among the rich and big countries, increased amount of greenhouse gases are released, leading to global warming, which is ultimately resulting in global climate change. As a result, we are facing those frequent and violent environmental challenges. The effects of global climate change are making poor countries more vulnerable compared to the rich countries. Our friends of developed nations or rich nations are releasing carbon dioxide and suggesting adaptation measures for us, which are not the real solutions. They have to mitigate greenhouse gases. If appropriate and sufficient mitigation measures are not taken, adaptation at a steps will not help us because the adaptive capacity is not unlimited. With the increasing global temperature, new microorganisms like Ebola will be evolved. Natural disasters will be hitting more and more with new magnitude with which we will not be able to adapt. Even if we can adapt, it will cost a lot, which will be intolerable for developing nations like Bangladesh. Ladies and gentlemen, against the thousands of environmental problems, we also have some good news. Following the promises in COP21 held in Paris 2015, on 22nd April 2016, that is on the World Earth Day, 175 countries made commitment to limit the emission of greenhouse gases. But we have to keep in our mind that at this stage, only commitments are not good enough. We must materialize our commitments. At any cost, we have to keep the global environment good enough for the livable planet. So ladies and gentlemen, keeping the theme of the World Environment Day, let's go wild, which means let's cut down our luxuries, let us save our forests. For the students, I have a request, if possible, please walk or do bicycling for a shorter distance. Please switch off your lights and other electrical appliances when you get out of your classrooms. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for gracing us with that inspiring speech. We would now like to welcome Mr. Rashid Chaudhry, Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Independent University Bangladesh, to the stage for his address.
Assalamu alaikum, and good morning to all of you. As our Dean of the School of Environment has mentioned, environment is very important. And the adverse impact of environment can be quite fatal for the world and especially for Bangladesh. We have a problem of climate change, we have a greenhouse effect, and the loss of that is to be heard from the next speakers. Here in IUB, Independent University of Bangladesh, both from the Board of Trustees and also from the management, we are conscious of our responsibility. And we are here to provide as much awareness as possible for our students, the future generation of the country and the world, to be aware of the adverse impact and to equip themselves to save the environment that we and our future generation will live. I would like to express my gratitude to the ambassador for taking the time off and come here. I'm sure this will act as an inspiration and as a motivation for our students to work on this in a also more sincerely. We also, I would like to say in IUB, we have been working on this. We have an international center for climate change headed by our very famous Dr. Salimul Haq and his team, Nina Aslam, and also others, who are doing a fantastic job over the years in providing the kind of research that is needed and the work that is needed. And IUB has been with ICAT for several years and we should continue to do so. I would also like to add here that as we speak about the environment, and as our dean has mentioned about the Sundaram, largest mangrove forest in the world. And there is a project right now going on in Sundarban. I'd like to mention for the interest of our students here, and it's called the Mangrove Children. As of now, there is an organization who are teaching the high school students on the outskirts of Sundarban, that is the villages surrounding the Sundarban. They're teaching them the awareness program of how to protect the environment, their the place where they're going to live and for the future. And this is a CSR sponsored by one of the banks that I sit in the board. We are very serious about that, and we want the people who are actually there to be able to be aware because it is their lives and the life of others, and we cannot afford to lose these things. I would also, at the end, like to give one little emphasis that we call today as the World Environment Day. Let us not only call it World Environment Day, this is something which needs to go on 24/7, 12 months a year. We make a big thing of World Environment Day, which is very good, but it must carry on the implementation of that. And at the end, I would like to thank the environmental, our club in this university for organizing this, for making this happen, and for their active interest. And I would also like to take the pleasure and the privilege of expressing the board's gratitude to Professor Harun, who is a very experienced old professor in IUB, and for initiating this club, who is doing this fantastic job. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for Mr. Rashid Chaudhry for his valuable time and words. We would now like to welcome on stage our guest of honor, Her Excellency Madam Marcia Stevens Bloom Barnacus, Ambassador of the U.S. Embassy Bangladesh Mission.
Vice Chancellor, the Independent University of Bangladesh, Mr. Omar Rahman, Chairman, Board of Trustees, Mr. Rashid Chowdhury, Dean, School of Environmental Science and Management, Dr. Mohammed Abdul Khalid, Head of Environment Management, Professor Harun Rashid, Chairman of the Education, Science, Technology, Cultural Development Trust of IUB, A. Maten Chowdhury, Faculty and Environment Club Coordinator, Mr. Ahmed Chowdhury, and Environmental Club President Sabio Rosario, students, members of the press, Assalamu alaikum, Namaskar, Shubho Shokal, good morning. I have to start with an apology. It's taken me way too long to make my first visit to IUB. But I can't think of a better occasion to be here with you, the students of IUB, than to celebrate World Environment Day. Environmental problems respect no borders, and addressing them and achieving sustainable management of natural resources worldwide requires the cooperation and commitment of all countries. There is now, more than ever, a real opportunity to generate positive environmental action in the coming year. Bangladesh, located at the confluence of the Ganges, the Brahmaputra, and the Meghna rivers, is particularly vulnerable to climate change. The coastal zone faces flooding, erosion, rising sea levels, and cyclonic storm surges. These challenges are made worse by the changing climate we're experiencing. Greater variability in rainfall is expected to increase the number and severity of floods and droughts in the coming decades. Rising sea levels, storm surges, flood damage, and saltwater intrusion threaten human lives and livelihoods through diminishing freshwater supplies. It is important to respond proactively and to protect the people and the livelihood of Bangladesh and the globe. I am proud of the United States government's long collaboration with IUB and our close relationship with the International Center for Climate Change and Development here. I am proud to note that the Gobishona Young Researcher Program has just finished its first year. Gobishona is a collaboration between the U.S. Agency for International Development and the International Center for Climate Change and Development that develops Bangladesh's capacity to conduct climate change research. Please allow me to highlight a few impressive efforts. Istiaq Ahmed is studying the adaptation strategies of some of the poorest and most vulnerable communities in Bangladesh. Shugat Nazmin Khan is researching small-scale wind, solar hybrid systems. Tanzania Kano is researching the impact of climate change-induced salinity intrusion on agriculture. Research like these is so important to build Bangladesh's capacity to actively address environmental challenges. And I hasten to add, to then export those findings to elsewhere in the world, like Bangladesh has done with so many developmental initiatives over the years. I hope that all the budding researchers in this room see Gobishona as a call to action. You do not need to wait to make a difference on climate change. You can join Gobishona's efforts now. The key event of this program was the annual Gobishona Conference for Research on Climate Change in Bangladesh, which brought together high-level researchers around the world to share their findings on the impacts of climate change in Bangladesh. But of course, no nation can face climate change alone. And to be honest, way too little has been done for way too long. I recall that the very first Earth Day took place when I was sitting where you are as a university student. And I assure you that was a long time ago. There has been tremendous progress on environmental issues, especially in the last year, including the adoption of Sustainable Development Goals to protect our planet by the United Nations, and the historic Paris Agreement on climate change signed by a record 175 countries on April 22nd, Earth Day this year. At that event, the UN Secretary General said, "We are in a race against time." He is right, but we also have a golden opportunity to protect our global environment through an all-out international effort, and the time is now. June is a special month for another reason. This is when the United States celebrates National Oceans Month. The oceans cover 70% of the Earth's surface and give us the planet we are able to inhabit. They are a natural treasure, a source of food and energy, and a foundation for our way of life. This month, we reaffirm our responsibility to keep our oceans and coastal ecosystems healthy and resilient. We remember our obligations to good ocean stewardship. The U.S. Department of State, headed by Secretary John Kerry, who is especially passionate on the health of our oceans, will host world leaders in Washington later this year for the third annual Our Ocean Conference. Participants will be tackling difficult challenges to our ocean's well-being and will discuss measures to protect and conserve wildlife through sustainable fishing practices and the establishment of marine protected areas. One model they can learn from is Bangladesh's Swatch of No Ground, which is a habitat for inhabited fin whale, 5 species of endangered dolphins, and a host of other marine wildlife. Now, all that may sound very technical
You will, I am confident, be the ones to devise solutions to these problems in the near future. I applaud the IUB Environment Club, for taking the initiative not only to dive into the science, but also to weave it together with culture and to give us the imagery of what is happening to our Earth through photography. On this World Environment Day, you have given us images of the great challenge climate change poses. Tomorrow and beyond, we will work together and find new solutions. And we look to your generation to carry forward the vital work of protecting our planet. I have to tell you that I had the enormous privilege and good fortune to visit the Sundarbans recently. The USAID and the Department of State have launched the Tiger Challenge, a broader program to bring together all of the different agencies and law enforcement personnel to help fight wildlife poaching, natural resource poaching, and the other types of transnational crime that are threatening the Sundarbans and the natural habitat for the Bengal tiger. And we are proud to be a part of that effort. And having spent time in the Sundarbans, I can tell you that it is a natural resource, a gift to this world, worth protecting and saving. I want to thank you again for inviting me to join you in celebration of World Environment Day. Before I end, I want to point a little bit, if I can, to the future of the Department of State's efforts in helping with the environment. Catherine, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you to stand up. I want to introduce to you Catherine Seaphrase. She's a brand new diplomat in Bangladesh. She's very fortunate to have as her very first posting in the U.S. Foreign Service. And she is our Environment, Science, and Technology and Health Officer. And her job is to look specifically for ways that we can work with the government of Bangladesh, civil society of Bangladesh, the NGOs who are here, and with you students on ways that we can jointly, actively, and successfully work on defending our environment. Thank you. To all of you, I say we have a lot of work to do, and we're way behind schedule in doing it. Onek Donavad, Valo Takan. Thank you.
You know what? A second, definitely round of applause for Ms. Garcia for gracing us with her presence in our inviting speech. We would now like to welcome to the stage our Honorable Vice Chancellor of IIB and Omar Rahman for his speech.
Her Excellency, Mr. Marsha S. Bloom Bernadette, the U.S. Ambassador to Bangladesh, the Honorable Chairman of our Board of Trustees, Mr. Ashu Chaudhry, my fellow colleagues in faculty and administration, guests, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, students, welcome to IUB and welcome to our inaugural World Environment Day 2016. Much of what I wanted to say has been said much more eloquently by the US ambassador. It's always a problem to follow someone as eloquent and erudite as her. So I am going to have to make up things on the fly, so bear with me. It's certainly true, and I don't think it's an exaggeration, to say that currently the world is in an existential crisis. I love the word existential. It sounds so complex, so full of foreboding. But I think this is a case where it's actually used appropriately. We are in an existential crisis. Really are. The very existence of this planet is at stake. And I don't think that's really an exaggeration. And I think the world as a whole has woken up late. But we have woken up, and I think that's the good news. And it's always a half full, half empty kind of story for everything that I'm doing. And I'm glad the half empty part of it is that there's still a lot more to do. The half full part of it is that we know that there's still a lot to do, which I think the ambassador herself pointed out. Now, a lot has been said about the environment and the importance of various aspects of it. We've spoken about climate change.
change, which is really, I think, what has really owned everybody's interest and focused everybody's interest on the fact that the world needs to do something about it. And I want to first start off by saying, what is the role of the university in all of this? These are complex challenges. These are challenges which require collaboration and cooperation across communities, across nations, across continents. And in many ways, they represent the best of what human beings have to offer. That if we want to save ourselves, we need to work together. And without that, none of this. This is not a problem that can be solved locally, piece by piece. It's a problem that can only be addressed if we all get together. Yes, our agendas do not always align. Yes, our needs and our demands do not always be the same. But I think all of us can agree that there are certain things that need to be done which benefit everyone. And that, I think, is the best and most important message. Now, what role do universities like IUB play in this? And I think that in many ways, we play perhaps a crucial role. Because for better or for worse, we are the place where the next generation of leaders are trained, educated. We are the venue where students, for the first time, come into contact with what needs to be done. And we are really responsible for making sure that young people are first aware of the problem, B, that they're given the tools to do something about it. And I'm very proud to say that IUP has really been at the vanguard, at the forefront of this battle of the minds. Our board of trustees, very foresightfully, long before it was fashionable, long before it was the thing to do, invested in a School of Environmental Studies. And Professor Harun Rashid, our first dean of the school, who only recently has retired from that position, has really been a pioneer in this field in raising the consciousness of not only the student and the academic community, but of the community at large in Bangladesh. And he's one of IUB's greatest environmentalists and also one of Bangladesh's greatest environmentalists. I would like to take the opportunity to give Professor Rashid because he made us aware of the importance of saving the environment, protecting the environment. This will be one of my favorite quotes from Mahatma Gandhi, who said, "The earth has enough resources to serve man's need, but not man's will." And I think Gandhi was very foresightful. At the time that he died, this was not seen to be a crisis. There were no sort of alarm bells ringing. But I think he recognized the integral relationship between human existence and the existence of the environment. Today, this year's theme is to go wide. And there are many things to talk about with regard to environment, and many of them have been touched on by the investor and others. I want to take a special note of the fact that today's theme addresses an issue which unfortunately not too many of us think. It comes up episodically. We think about wildlife, we think about going to zoos and seeing various these magnificent examples of our brethren, I would say, because we need to think about wildlife as something that is not separate from human beings, but part of the larger family of living beings that both flora and fauna that need to be nurtured, they need to be supported, and we're all in this together. I'm pained and horrified to become aware of the fact that so much of what is great and magnificent is at the brink of extinction. I think some of us may be aware that the tiger population is in danger. There's also, again, I think a good news, bad news story here. The recent news from just a couple of months ago is that the tiger populations have come up. But before we start patting ourselves on our back about that, I think it's important to know that tiger populations have really shrunk to sort of almost extinction levels. And yes, efforts which started about 5 years ago has really had a positive impact of bringing. I understand that in the Sundarbans, which is the heart of the Royal Bengal tiger habitat, at least our portion of it, which is two-thirds of the total uh, habitat of the Sundarbans, there are only 104 Royal Bengal tigers, just 100. And that's a figure I want us to reflect on. And in a blink of an eye, they can all go. We need to stop being complacent about it. Even though I believe that the numbers have come up from 5 years ago, we need to sort of keep on focusing on nurturing this habitat or making sure that it does not come under threat. The tigers are just one small example. Rhinos are near extinction in many species today. The Javan rhino has already disappeared from Vietnam, where it was its last habitat. I believe the World Environment Day the headquarters of UNEP is in Angola this year, and there are only 3 white rhinos remaining in the world. There are, of course, many other examples, the big apes which have disappeared in the Cameroon, hornbills. I'm not going to talk about some people that we jagged dolphins, the warning dolphins. These have been part of Bangladesh's heritage, wildlife heritage, since time immemorial. But even they are seriously at risk because of being caught up in these large fishing nets, which are, where they get caught and they can't escape, and they eventually, have to be destroyed because they die. I was reading in the newspaper today that there is a fantastic initiative by the government and certain NGOs to educate fishermen about this problem and by giving them the tools to try to address it. I strongly recommend to the students that they read a book by Amitabh Ghosh, one of my favorite South Asian writers called The Hungry Tide. And it is really a fabulous book on the Sundarbans and the whole larger issue about the ecosystem and the fragile ecosystem and the relationship between human beings and that ecosystem. Sometimes fiction allows us to appreciate the enormity of a problem much more so than any of the thousands of reports that have been written. So I strongly recommend that not only is the book fascinating to read, it's entertaining and informative, which I think is a rare combination. I think as students, many of you may think that the problems are so complex, so complicated that there's very little that you can do. There I would disagree with you. I think the most important thing that each of us, not only yourself, but also us, can do is first educate ourselves about the dimensions of the problem. Second, there's always things that you can do. Just spreading awareness is probably the single most useful thing that you can do. And I say that with some pride that in IUB, we are all environmentalists. It's not just the School of Environment. Our focus is on making sure that every student and every faculty member is aware of the issues that affect all of us, that this is not something that only people who study the environment should focus on. And I think this is really the theme in many ways of our educational philosophy is that every student, every faculty member should be part and parcel of the larger society. And this is really the Victor Lark spirit that IUB is doing. I have many people to thank, and I want to first start off by thanking the School of Environment and the Dean, Dr. Khalid, for taking the initiative to launch this college, celebrating World Environment Day, which they do every year. This year we've done it in even a much bigger way than we have normally. I can assure the School of Environment that they have the absolute support of the Central Administration and the Board of Trustees. This is a priority area for us. I want to thank all the faculty members, and most importantly, I want to thank the students of the Environment Club who took the initiative to put on today's events. I want to thank Dr. Salimul Haq and the National Center for Climate Change and Development. It seems just like the other day that he and I were talking about the possibility of setting up such a center, and I think in 8 years they have really become one of the leading research and advocacy centers with regards to climate change they have done not only IUB proud, but Ghana. Thank you very much. I recognize our Board of Trustees for their unstinted support for environments, for activities with regard to the environment, for raising consciousness, for putting in resources to try to build human capital. Our goal is to be the leading center for scholarly research and training, and I think we've come a long way. We still have a ways to go, but I think we made a great start. And I think in taking on this initiative, we have done something that's even more important than just something that we have. I think we've shown the world at large that complex challenges can be taken on by developing country institutions, that we can train the best and the brightest, and that we represent hope not only for Bangladesh, but for the rest of the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Vice Chancellor M. Omar Rahman, for his commitment to the environmental education and motivational word to us.
Now we'd love to wait a moment to rise. We will now announce the runners-up and the winners for the award.
So first up, we would like to announce the runner-up of the photography contest.
And I'd like to invite Khalid sir to hand the award to you.
We would like to request the Dean of School of Environmental Science and Management on stage, Dr. Mohammad Abdul Khalid, to hand over the award. So now we would like to announce the name of our runner-up of the competition. And please give a big hand to Atif Siddiq.
I'm sorry, there's been a slight error. The actual runner-up of the photography competition will be Kingston Wilson Nike. Take it out, sorry. And now we'd like to announce the winner of the photography competition. And I'd like to invite Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Rashid Chaudhry, to hand this to the And the winner is Salman Hamid.
Now we would like to announce the Critics' Choice winner, and the name of the winner is Atif Siddiqui. We would like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor M. Omar Rahman to hand over the award.
We'd like to announce the winner for the Best Recycled Product designed in the Eco-Friendly Products Fair. And the winner of the award is Raj Kabir and his team. And the award will be handed by the ambassador.
A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, folks, we're nearly at the end of today's session. Before we bid you farewell, however, I'd like you all to join us and welcome to stage the head of the Department of Environmental Management, Mr. Khan Rashid, to deliver the talk. Thanks.
On behalf of IUB and the Environmental Club, I have the honor of proposing a vote of thanks for Her Excellency, the Ambassador of the United States of America to Bangladesh, Mrs. Masters Keaton Bruni Brunigan. She has taken an interest in all the environmental problems that we have. She has even visited the Srimabad, which you think most of you have. We thank her for giving so much time to the Environment Club celebration of the day. We also thank her for attending the prize giving of the photographs, and I hope she will look at the handicrafts later on. We are happy for her interest in the work of the Environment Club, one of many clubs in Algeria. We're grateful to Mr. Rashid Chaudhry, Chairman of the Board of Trusts, and Mr. Rahman Omar, our Vice Chancellor, for taking an interest in the Environment Club and thereby encouraging them. We are also grateful to the students who comprise the Environment Club, who are the heart and soul of today's celebration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Khan Rashid, for that speech. I'd like to invite the executive body of the Environment Club, IUB, to stage for a group photo with our guests. This is a small gift that the students of the School of Environmental Science and Management have made outside the for us for our guest scholar.
handle further notice. Thank you.
I'd like to remind all students and audience members to remain seated when I further notice. Clarification.